Hello everyone, and welcome to this next session of From Nothing. This is a joint session between Lorna and Kaelan. As you all might have heard is coming, this is the From Nothing double date. But first it must be arranged, and so this morning, it is maybe about 10 o'clock in the morning. Lorna, you are in the training room. You are standing across from Norre, as Norre is trying to teach you to maintain your balance when you are on your back foot, when you are retreating. And as you are in the training room, and this is happening, the portcullis is not... Well, the portcullis is open because there's not actually a battle happening in here. Allow me a moment as I move these over here.
And Lorna needs supervision in case she murders someone, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. No.
She's on a list now.
As you're in the training room and you're standing opposite Norre, the portcullis gate opens and Tier has entered and he says, "About fucking time I found you. 9 hells. Who the fuck comes in here on a Saturday?"
I felt like I told you I was going to be in here.
You did not. Or I did not listen.
Well, I meant to tell you.
I couldn't find you. Alright. Norre, can I borrow her for a minute? And Norre has like her rapier out and just kind of her arm drops and looks at Tier and you hear her say, "Yeah, fine. My time's it's fine." And she just kind of steps back. So Tier approaches and he says, "I have a proposal for you."
Okay.
So, I know that you and Lois have not exactly gotten along in the past, right?
What are you talking about? We're friends.
Oh, good.
Now.
Fantastic. Okay. So, well, I was talking with Kaelan, and he had an idea. I'm pretty sure he's sweet on her.
Uh-huh.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I just think that's really funny. But go on.
Alright, you can express that in person, because what I was thinking, and what Kaelan was thinking, is that I would take you, and he would take her, and we'd go out on Carlos Bay. Tonight.
Okay.
Good.
Kaelan's gonna be there?
Yeah. As is Lilith.
I'm fine with that. The last time I talked to Kaelan, he was kind of curious in a way that made me a little uncomfortable.
He was asking a lot of questions about you-know-what then.
About anything.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, in my experience, he's not the most socially adjusted individual, but that's alright, we can get past that.
Okay, well, will you help me deflect if he decides to ask what my favorite fucking color is, or
Absolutely.
where my birth certificate is?
I'll tell him it's blue, and I'll tell him it's blue.
It's black, for sure.
You don't know. Great.
Anyway.
It's fine. I don't know if I know how to handle him quite yet. I don't really know what to think of him, but if Lilith likes him... Did she agree to this?
I assume so. It was his responsibility to talk to her. So it's not my problem.
I'm surprised. I have to pay her to go places with me.
Well,
I'm just wondering how much he's paying her.
That's not how friends work.
Are you saying we're not friends?
I'm saying perhaps we should work on that while we're on the ocean.
Okay. Should I bring anything?
Comfortable clothes. If you have a fishing pole, that will help.
Yeah. No, I do not.
Why don't you stop at the general store and pick one up?
Okay.
It's going to be like 5 copper, so...
Oh, that's not what I'm worried about. Food, drink.
Oh, I handle that. Don't worry.
Okay. So, are we acting like as wing people for Kaelan to...
Right, so we're going out on Carlos Bay, which is pretty calm. However, the water has a weird way of being unpredictable. And so, the more people on a ship that can handle you know, if unexpected things happen, the better. And I would not recommend just 2 people going out on the bay.
Or bodyguards for their date?
No. The 4 of us are going to better manage a boat than 2. That's it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I'm
Sure.
dating you, Kaelan is dating Lilith,
You've
and we
dated
happen
me.
to be on this double date, yes.
Okay.
How red is Lorna right now?
Increasingly.
I mean, if
Okay.
you're not all right with that, it's
Let's
okay.
go. No, I'm all. Let's do the sailing.
Okay, we're not really sailing that far. It's just we're going out in the bay.
Sounds great.
Okay. Make sure you bring a spell book.
Okay.
There might be trouble. You never know.
Oh, no. Do you think I leave without it?
I thought maybe you might question it because we're going to be near water.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I have a bag of holding. If you need to put any weird things in there. I don't know why I said weird. If you need to put any things in there.
Why don't you go back to training and I'll see you later.
Okay.
And so as Tierre leaves, Kaelan, you have a conversation with Lilith.
Yeah. Kind of already talked about it before, but I do want to meet up with her this morning just to get everything set up.
Okay.
So,
Where do you think you would find Lilith right now?
In her room, sleeping.
in a room sleeping. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
it's
you
about
said.
9 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you knock on the fighter's dorm.
Yeah, I do.
As you head in, Lilith is in bed. Blanket is half on her. She's wearing like a tank top and then blanket underneath that, and she's just face down. And as the door opens, she goes, "Huh?
Rise and shine. Get up.
Why?"
We've got fishing poles to buy.
Fuck off.
All right. That's nice.
What do you mean we have fishing poles to buy?
We're going out on the water tonight. Remember?
Oh, fuck, it's Saturday.
Aye.
Okay. Yeah, alright, fine.
I'll get you some clava, and I'll meet you downstairs.
Right, yeah, no peep show, get out of here.
And he leaves.
Okay. It takes a few minutes for Lilith to constitute herself. And you retrieve some clava for the 2 of you?
Yeah. I get it like a big carafe and just kind of like if there's any canteens that seal, I'll.
There are not.
Oh well.
Oh, the flask.
There are flasks, but
I'll get 2 flasks with clava.
You might as well
so we
spike
can-
it too if it's Lilith.
I warn you, flasks are just metal, and if you fill it with clava,
Just hold it with leather.
sure.
Yeah. That's the workaround for that. Yeah.
Okay.
A leather sleeve. Just so we can take it on the go.
Okay.
We stop at
yeah.
McDonald's drive-through.
Yeah,
As
pretty
Lilith emerges from the fighter's dorm and you have clava that you offer her, she says, "Okay, that's better."
I thought so. Right. I don't have a fishing pole, so I'm buying one for both of us. Or I'll buy you one and I'll buy myself one.
Okay.
This is a little nervous, I guess.
Who is?
I don't know. Never mind.
It's too early
Let's
for
go.
this, Kaelan. Hang on. And she takes a big drink. So as you head to the general store, Lorna, are you going straight to the general store to get your fishing pole? Or are
That's
you
what
doing
she was told to do.
Okay. So as you leave the Marigold
She's like, bye,
Academy,
Dory.
you would bump into Lorna.
Lorna, good morning.
Morning. Lilith is up and it's not noon yet.
Hey,
Hello.
don't remind me.
Sorry.
We're going to get fishing poles.
That's where I was going.
Well, guess we can walk there together.
That would be great. I actually don't know what I'm looking for.
That's fine. I'll help you guys out, both of you.
Do we have a... Hang on a minute. I actually need to talk to Lorna about something.
Sure. I'll step away.
It's just a
Give
sec.
them-
How far away?
Like 10 feet.
Lilith will, like, turn and look at you, Kaelan, and be like, I know you can hear, like, really well, so...
Alright, I'll just, I'll start walking and you catch up.
It'll just be a minute, okay?
Sure.
And she takes a huge slug from the flask. When she drops it down, she just goes, ow. Okay,
What? Was it hot?
yeah,
I thought you were tiefling.
I am. It still
It
hurts.
must be really hot.
Okay,
Yes?
have you heard from the Master lately?
I did this thing that she asked me to do. It was a dead drop.
Okay,
I did it. I don't think I fucked it up. And I haven't heard anything after that, so.
that's good. She visited me in a dream last night.
Great.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm getting there. Slow down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guess get a little nervous when it comes to her.
She's like rubbing her eyes and she says, I didn't sleep super great because of it.
No. Fair.
She gave me a name. Somebody's coming into port that I need to beat the shit out of.
Okay, just the shit? You don't have to actually kill a person?
She said it was up to my best judgment,
Great.
which means that she probably wants me to kill him, but I don't want to if I don't have to. Because I don't actually like having blood on my hands of people I don't know that haven't stolen from me.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of someone named Napier?
Have I?
Roll a history.
First roll. 22.
Yeah, you have. It's a noble, and you would have heard the name get tossed around whilst you are at various parties. The concerning part is it's a Tridonian name. One that is pretty well known.
Yeah, I've heard the name. I'm assuming they're a Napier.
Yeah.
One of the important ones, or one of the branch family ones?
I don't know. But I know they're coming in from, she said, trading exploits. But I don't know a whole lot about him. I was going to try and ask Kaelan if he'd heard the name, because he's from around there.
So's Tier.
That's true. I needed to know if this person would be, like, if they went missing, if it would cause problems around here.
Around here, Ferrum.
For me. Specifically for me. I assume she wants him gone for a specific reason over there, but I'm more concerned about my own hide.
Yeah. Also, if they're so important, like the name is so significant, they might not be alone.
Oh, they're not going to be. She told me I was going to have to be sneaky about it.
Do you want help?
I don't want to drag you into it. It was given to me.
I'm already in it. I'm already in it.
Right, but she didn't reach out to you, did she? You said
She didn't,
no.
but that doesn't mean I can't help you.
All right. But you don't get seen.
I can make myself look like anybody.
Well, make yourself look like a dude or something. There's no question that it's not you, okay?
Sure, I'll be Lorna.
Name cannot sound similar, you jackass.
Wait, when is this supposed to take place?
I don't know. She said he was coming in within the next week.
Okay. Well, I'm going to help you.
Okay.
We'll workshop what we're going to do. Have you told? And she's gonna kind of like point to Kaelan about any of this.
Not really.
Well, I don't know how close you are. Obviously close enough to be going on a date.
Well, he gave me some real good armor, and it was super nice of him.
That armor?
Yeah. Well, he didn't
scales
give me the armor, but he gave me the scales.
to make
And-
the armor.
Yeah, and
That's
Seka put
basically
it
the same
together.
thing.
Yeah, right? So,
That was really nice of him.
yeah.
So you're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Someone you might trust.
Trying to feel that out. I'm not sure yet.
Because Tier knows most of my shit. So,
Oh,
like the master.
good to know. Thanks for...
Well, he doesn't know anything about your stuff. I didn't mention you.
Okay. You see that she visibly was getting worked
That's
up
not
and she cools
not my
off.
place to talk about your shit. But I'm just saying it's
All right,
been
all right.
immensely helpful to have somebody to talk to you about this.
I'll talk to him. Maybe.
And if he
will-
knows, and Tier knows, we could actually have an open conversation about this.
That's a good point.
Just consider it.
All right. And she turns and looks at you, Kaelan, and she says, "You can come back."
He's already at the general store. I'm just kidding. No, no, he stepped away for like he's like 50 feet away, like super far away, because he can hear really good.
Were you
but
was he trying to eavesdrop or was he trying not to?
No, he's respectful of it.
What
Okay.
a good guy.
So she turns and sees how far away you got, and she goes, "Oh, damn, all right." And she waves.
He's like sitting on a park bench, just enjoying the clava and the nature. It's just
Yeah.
Or,
Lilith turns and hands you the clava and says, "You want to sit? You want to hit?" It's clava.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sure. You're talking to Kaelan.
It's super hot.
Ow! I feel like you warned me, but I forgot.
Yeah. What are you, not a tiefling?
She feels her forehead. No. Not last I
That's
checked.
what I thought. And then,
Stacey,
Kaelan, when you approach, Lilith kind of gestures to get more off the main stretch. And Lilith goes, "All right. Lorna was talking to me for a sec, and I figured you should know.
Doing this now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Ow. Good.
Well, like, Lilith looks at you, Kaelan, and she says, "Can you keep a secret?"
Alright, yeah.
Okay. My last name is Noish. Does that name mean anything to you?
Check. Probably history.
Yeah, roll a history check. It's not likely. It's pretty high DC for you.
You
But you rolled a dirty 20. It's a noble name. You recognize it just offhand, probably in trade. You know that the name is from around like Port Sanctuary, Augur City. Not Augur City. Wow. Silver's Reach, Port
Wow.
Sanctuary, around there.
Yeah.
You are
Okay.
pretty sure they have something to do with the trams.
The trams, okay. Alright. I believe my father did some woodwork, like for like benches, maybe.
That's really oddly specific. Okay. The reason I cut these off, and she points to her horns that are not there. My family's not cool with me being a tiefling.
Alright.
But that's because we're tied in with, by we, not them. And she, like, gestures between herself and Lorna. We're tied in with, a criminal overlord, from Saris. We're both running
Or-
for
Just kind of
different
waves at
reasons.
you.
Alright. Okay.
I can't speak to her reasons because they're not mine to say, but my family's in trouble, but not with her. I'm in trouble with her. I mean, I needed to get out.
I understand that.
So that's why I'm here. Big part of it. She told me to come here.
Not me, the Overlord.
Yeah, Lorna didn't say fuck all. I met her here.
All right. Well, I do understand having to get out of home quickly. So, the whole criminal overload, that's a lot. Can't say I've ever had that sort of dealings, but
Well, when they've got leverage on you, there's not much you can do about it.
that's fair.
I'm kind of paying for being rebellious.
Well, all right. So, I don't think that changes my view of you, if that's what you're worried about.
That really didn't come into consideration. I mean, I'm not exactly discreet about who I am as a person.
Right.
So,
I like
figured-
who you are, so.
Thank you. That's
Lauren's
great.
just kind of like, she's just watching this back and forth, and she kind of nudges Lilith and says, there was a point to telling him too about this
Right.
thing.
Tierra knows her story. And her story's similar to mine. But where it comes together is the criminal overlord that we both have to deal with.
I see.
Sometimes she tasks us with things.
All right.
And I figured while we're out, it would be a lot easier if we could speak openly about these things instead of behind backs.
That's fair. I mean, I appreciate you telling me. I suppose if we're being open about it, I kind of overnight was thrown onto a ship and came here from my home.
Against your will? Why'd you stay?
Why'd I stay at home, or?
No, if you
What
were
do you mean?
kidnapped... Wait, I think I'm missing some context here.
There's a bit of context. Let's just say I had some life-changing news thrown at me, and it's the reason why I'm kind of in danger, and it's the reason why I was thrown onto a ship and sent here so I could be safe.
You're in danger.
Aye.
Who isn't? Lorna says, that's part of this conversation.
She glance over and says, is Tierra in
Uh,
danger too?
No. I mean, it's not really for me to say, so let's just forget about Tierra until they get on the ship boat, thingy.
It's a ship. It's a small one, I think.
Yeah, he'll look over to Lorna.
Yeah.
You're not the person I would have expected to tell this to right away, but if we're all being honest here, the night I left, I kind of found out I'm a bastard to a noble.
Get in line.
Yeah, apparently you two have that in common.
Yeah.
And I was raised by my grandparents instead of having parents. So,
Wait, is your... Okay. Your mom isn't a succubus too, is she?
no.
That's where she
Okay.
gets it from.
Okay.
No,
I didn't know how close in common we were, so I needed to feel that one out.
it's hard to say because, I speak of my father as my father because that's what I knew him as when I was growing up, but apparently he's my grandfather. And my grandfather and my grandmother's daughter had me, and she passed when after everything.
Okay.
But
I feel like... Okay, so... Who's this noble that you had to run from?
Oh, just the Admiral of Phobos.
I'm
More
rolling
like
a
a king.
history check for Lilith. She just looks blankly at you. Okay, aren't there lots of those?
Well, there's just one. The Halvard family. He's the
Her
Admiral
eyes
of
are like
Phobos.
glazing over.
Right. Here. And he will show the coin or the token.
Okay,
If that means anything.
it's a shiny token. I don't know what you're... Okay.
Anyway, the way it works is the Admiral of Phobos, the Admiral Halvard, took my mother in one night, had one night, conceived me. He had a sick
I was really
wife.
worried you were going to go into detail. Okay.
No. Why would I go into never mind. Well, basically, he had a wife that was really sick, couldn't really give him a child. Then she passed. He got a new wife, and she had a child, and so that child is younger than me. This is really complicated now that I think about it.
We don't have to get into that. Why does it matter that you... Why'd you have to...
Anyway.
Why'd you have to leave, is what I...
I technically have claim to the Admiralty.
Oh, like royalty.
I
9 hells, Kaelan. Why didn't you say that from the beginning?
It's Tridonian.
Okay, sure.
Though.
It's all nonsense to me. It's... Why can't you just have a dude in charge and they deal with that? Okay, whatever.
I don't make the rules. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Okay, you're here because... What? You're dangerous to
The
them?
new Duchess. I'm dangerous to my half brother, which the Duchess doesn't like. So she's trying to find any bastards and kill them, which would be me.
That sounds batshit crazy. Okay. Do you want to lay claim?
I'm learning how to travel the planes just so I can be further away from this plane than anything else.
Okay, that sounds like a no.
That's a no.
Okay. So we're all running from shit.
It seems like it.
Seems like a Marigard standard, actually.
I mean, that
It is
amnesty clause is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
But, Persh knows. Oddly, Tabernac knows.
Oh, why didn't you tell me
Okay.
sooner?
I kind of had to. This whole token thing freaked me out a bit because it just showed up in my pocket. So,
All right. So you're in danger of someone coming and looking for you.
yeah.
Well, same.
Hey, same.
Well,
So we're all in agreement that we don't talk about the shit with anybody else.
Yeah, agreed.
Well,
Which is
my
why
friends,
I was real surprised that you told Tier.
Well, my friends know because I'm going to be on a team with them, and you said it's yourself, Lilith, that I was dangerous company.
Yeah.
So I wanted them to know if they wanted to even deal with that nonsense. And they do, and they've accepted that, but I haven't told anyone about you, Lilith. And Kaelan, I don't really know who you are, but I have no stake in your family business, so don't worry about it.
we've only just met, so
Pretty much,
I-
yes.
I don't blame you.
All right.
But
Let's
Lilith, I think you kind of lost the plot.
maybe.
The master has asked
Oh
you.
fuck. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted. There's a fucking... I need to keep an eye out for someone. How much do you know about nobles around where you're from, or where you were from?
Apparently he's one. He is one.
When I was having those lessons, my eyes would frequently glaze over, so we'll see if I can remember it.
All right. Do you recognize the name Pernian?
I assume a history check is involved.
That's a no.
That's a no. Who?
Okay.
Is that the first name of the Napier person?
Yeah.
Echo DM. For the anniversary party that Lorna read about in the sexy gnome book, no, sexy goblin book, were the Napiers in attendance?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. I was just wondering.
So Lilith was going to follow up and say, how about Napier? Does that mean anything?
Better.
Maybe.
Okay, so you're from around there, so yes, the name Napier does mean something to you. It's
All right.
It's not one of the royal families of Admiralty, but they do control a large fleet based out of Candinos.
All right. Large fleet out of Candinos.
They manage
heard the name.
They manage a lot of engineering, a lot of trade as far as construction materials, and they handle a lot of waterworks.
I say that.
Okay. Lilith says, her eyes, she's just like, okay.
That's what I know.
Pernian Napier is going to be coming to Ferrum, and I need to beat the living snot out of him, I guess.
Was there a reason why?
You don't ask those questions. You ask those questions. You ask those questions, and you end up with a hand like Lorna's.
I see. And he kind of like stares at the hand.
I was gonna say that.
Well, say it.
She doesn't like what you do or not do. She makes sure you know it. So I promised to help Lilith out with this.
So, are you looking for me to help as well?
No. Unless you want to, no. She's not going to even look like her fucking self when she's helping me. Because this task, the master put it on me to handle this my goddamn self. And to make the decision as to whether I'm executing the dude or just beating the shit out of him.
Well, if it's dangerous, wouldn't that put your lives in danger to do this?
Yes, it would.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, I don't like that.
Well, I don't like it either, Kaelan. And I have to tell Ilrad what's going on anyway.
You're gonna tell Ilrad?
I have to. There's more going on there than you know. I haven't told you. Just that the Marigot Academy doesn't like that the master's controlling me, and I have to pass on any orders I get.
Well, I already do that too.
Okay, then yeah, you know that I have to tell Ilrad because you probably have to tell Tabernac.
Tabernac does know.
Then why'd you give me a fucking stink eye?
I was just curious.
Fuck you.
Should we maybe save the rest of this for when we're with Tier?
I think it's best. I think
He knows what's going on too, and he might have more information about this mark you have.
Yeah.
he might. If I know it's here, then he'll probably want to help just as much as I do.
Not yet.
Alright. I don't really know him that well, so that's on you guys. Are we getting fishing poles?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right.
Wait.
I want my own clava, so
We can
like,
stop by a
preferably
stall.
iced because my tongue hurts.
You'll be okay.
I won't be. Right. So as they start walking, she'll look at Kaelan and say, "Remember when you asked me all sorts of questions about where I'm from and blah 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 blah."
It makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, maybe
And
just assume that most of the people here, apparently, at the Marigard, can't tell you these things.
That's the truth.
That's fair. I want to apologize for the line of questioning. Honestly, I was trying to figure out if you were trustworthy or not for my own sake,
Why?
because I need to be careful.
Because you come off as a snobby noble at a glance.
That's
What,
true.
what is that? What is that? I mean, we had already worked together, Kaelan. This was our celebratory "We Killed a Hag" party. Why would you need to know anything more about me?
Well, you're smart. And that's the first thing I gleaned off you, so...
The second part was snobby,
And
right?
No, that was
you know
mine.
how...
Oh, great.
And you know how to talk to people and keep things from people. You're very hard to read. So, you know, I had to make sure.
I'm not sure if you're asking for lessons or...
No, I just wasn't sure and I wanted to know. But I realize now that I understand where you're coming from.
Well, I appreciate the apology. I think maybe you should tackle new people from now on with the thought in mind, less of that they're going to turn you in to your past and more that they've got their own shit to deal with.
That's a lesson learned then.
And I suppose I could be the same way. I didn't have to meet you so hostilely.
Well, we have two totally different approaches to protecting ourselves. You keep everything in, and I just want to know who's around me.
Which is funny because all of my friends know about me.
Which I
Oh.
still am curious about how that
What
went
do you
down.
mean? Fine. I made sure I liked and trusted them first. Which is, I'm sure, what you're doing with Kaelan here.
Yeah, I wouldn't have just told any fucking buddy. Nobody else knows my side, by the way. Just you two fucks.
I'm honored. Well, I kind of made you tell me. But that's beside the point.
It wasn't really an option. We're colleagues, as the master put it.
Well, Lilith, you're the first person to know my whole spiel.
And I'm the second. For some reason.
I would have preferred it my own team, but that's alright.
Maybe you should trust them.
I do.
Maybe they should know then.
They will.
All right. It's getting a little tense. Don't
Sorry, I
you know
haven't
you
had
should
my
never-
morning clava.
You never buy fishing poles when everything's awkward,
Yep, that's what they say.
I guess. And so you head down the main map of Ferrum, heading toward the general store. As you make your way, one moment, please. Why is that playing? Okay, whatever. As you make your way down towards the general store, you can find anything you need to fish, as fishing is extremely common in Ferrum. There's an ocean right there. We don't have to roleplay this out. You can just purchase the tools you need for 4 people to go fishing.
We do that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
defer to Kaelan's judgment on what suits the job best for me because Lorna's never done anything like this.
I would like 3 super rods and a Pokeball. I'm just kidding.
Pokeball?
Yeah.
I'd like a netball.
No, definitely a net. We're gonna get a net as well. So enough
Actually,
line.
I did go fishing once, but I electrocuted them to kill them.
It sounds like cheating.
I still got fish, didn't I?
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to put an arrow through a fish.
That'd be cool.
I've
It's
done
gonna
that
happen.
before.
You could tie the line to it and everything and then reel it back in.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to fucking do.
Let's let these rangers fish like normal people, but we'll outfish them with our own methods.
All right.
You want to sound like fun?
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Whoever gets the most fish, 10 gold.
100 gold. I don't think I have that much gold. Hold on.
You don't. What are you doing?
I do. I got paid for the hag. I do. How about 50 gold?
How about 10 gold?
How about 10 gold?
Oh, loser.
This is supposed to be fun, not...
Making money is fun.
I don't have 50 gold, so
Ooh. You should start doing some odd jobs around Fair.
I'm busy training.
I think I can't do both.
You can't.
I can. I made up a spell. I'm gonna use it on you someday.
Right, I'm spending all my time training. That's why I'm not a waif. And she, like, shoves you on the shoulder.
She hits a shelf and things fall down. Oh, you bruised my rib.
Right. Point proven.
I don't think it's quite so cut and dry, but fine. And she'll take her pole and march out of the store.
Okay. If you spend 2 gold, you have all the fishing supplies you need.
Okay.
2 gold total or 2 gold each?
Total.
I will,
Fishing supplies are not expensive.
Kaelan's buying mine too, right?
yeah, I will buy everybody's.
You're the one with deep pockets, Lorna.
I do have deep pockets. I have deep pockets. I have like 900 gold
I thought you were
total.
trying to save up for a bow.
I am saving up for a bow, but it's okay. 2 gold is fine.
Okay.
Plus, I'm about to go up 30 gold anyway, so.
It's only 20 gold from us. You're on Tier's team.
Oh, it's a team.
Yeah,
it's a team effort.
It's Lilith and Lorna against the Rangers.
All right, fair
To
enough.
see who has
Well,
superior outdoorsman skills.
Ooh.
I think the Rangers will probably take
We'll
it, but you can
see.
certainly try. All right. So, as you get the fishing supplies you need and head down towards the docks.
It's the Ceresians versus the Tridonians. That's so funny that it worked out that way.
Oh boy.
So it is. Yeah, Tier definitely would take the piss out of that. As you head down to the docks, you see yourselves being waved down by a pink-haired half-elf. Tier says, "It's about time.
We got
Look at her.
distracted.
I pulled in a favor."
What do we
And-
see?
What is it?
It's not enormous. It's a 2-masted sailing ship. It's perfectly serviceable for the 4 of you. It's going to be a little bit big for the 4 of you, but you should be able to handle maneuvering it, especially if Lilith and Lorna take to instructions well.
Maybe. We'll see how I'm feeling.
There's going to be one person controlling the rudder, one person controlling each of the sails, and one person that's basically going to be the runabout, who is going to be handling all the other small things that need to be done to make a ship not crash into rocks.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Tierra looks at you and says, "You're not afraid of work, right?"
What do you think I could do best? On the ship.
Tierra strokes his beard, and he... that is a good question. Probably... Well, have you ever directed a boat before?
Oh, yeah, loads of times.
Once will be enough, so that's why I'm asking.
None.
Okay.
Never. But I'm very smart.
Great. You're our runabout.
Oh. I didn't want to do the running one.
Sorry. It's alright. Everyone's going to be putting in a little bit of work, and it's only until we get to a nice spot that we can anchor.
Okay.
I suppose Lilith and I are on the mast.
Have you ever driven a ship? Have you ever controlled the rudder? Because I haven't.
Oh,
Oh,
you haven't?
would I know?
What's your
Would I
word?
know? Would I know what skill that is to control a ship?
It's perception.
Oh, I suppose I could do it.
All right.
I haven't done it too much in my past, but
Great,
done
so
it
none of us know
before.
what we're doing. Let's go.
It's not that hard, honestly. We're not a fucking Navy vessel, all right? We don't have to be practiced in combat maneuvers. We just have to get the boat out of dock.
I can't wait to see how poorly this goes.
Well, have you ever pulled an oar?
She looks at her perfect hand. No calluses, no scars. No.
Time to start. Because that's how we're getting out of dock. And
Whose idea was this?
I'll just raise my hand.
She gives you a look.
all right, so as you have made your way onto the ship, you see there is a large, it's like a canvas bag settled down in the middle of the deck of the ship. It is the only thing that looks out of place, as the rest of the deck of the ship is clearly tied down. It's clear this ship is a fishing vessel. It kind of smells of fish. It's not profound. It's clear that the ship is kept in good condition. And as Tier kind of hops up onto the deck and gestures for the three of you to do the same, he points to the tie-downs and says, right, so first things, we take those off so the ship can leave without breaking the dock.
Okay. Is that an instruction, Captain?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch Lorna do this. Just
Do you get one ceramic middle finger? She's gonna try to undo a rope.
this is essentially a sloop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll me a survival,
Pronounced
Lorna.
rope class. Survival. Okay.
The ship is a sloop, not
I
the
did
rope.
really well. Shush.
18. Yeah, you figure out the rope is tied in such a way that there is a loose end of the rope that you pull and the knot just comes undone.
She says, I'm a natural.
There's another one over there.
I hate this. She goes to do that one as well.
Okay. And Lilith does the third one. And as that happens, Tier looks to you, Kaelan, and says, give us a push off, will you? As he begins to rudder the back of the
All
ship.
right. I will push off the dock and then hop in
Okay.
as soon as it's free.
Yeah, it begins to coast at very
Yep.
slow speeds, but it is moving away from the dock. And as you hop up onto it, you guys are moving. Which means I need to change the map.
Pretty.
This is
Those
Kylos
are
Bay.
Geese.
Your keys.
No?
You're a
the-
geese. You're a goose.
The Basilicus, yeah.
Okay, so as you're sailing out into Kylos Bay, Kaelan, you are going to be responsible for where the boat goes.
Okay.
Kylos Bay is smooth. It's very calm. It always has been, even during storms. Kylos Bay is much more settled than where it might be back home in Phobos. It is unique in that way, and you suspect it's likely because of the islands that are out in the middle of Kylos Bay. They seem to break the heavy tides that come in from the actual ocean itself. The calmness does make it very easy to sail, which means that you can basically control the ship accurately. The DCs here are an 8 for basically anything I ask you to do.
Okay.
Don't fuck up.
Fucking up is entirely possible, but usually what happens is the boat doesn't go where you want it to, and you have to try again. And as you are coasting away from the docks, the south docks of Ferrum are not nestled in any way. There's no risk of hitting rocks or getting beached. This harbor has been weathered and worn by hundreds of years of use, and as such, the erosion has made it a very safe place for people to sail, and it's considered extremely friendly to new sailors. which is why this is not a bad idea.
Cool. All right. Is this this spot, or sorry, this bay? I have it in my notes right here somewhere.
While he looks for his notes, can you pause? So bathroom.
Yes.
Yee.
Okay. Kaelan Bay. You had a
Is
question?
this is this the home of the quarter pile landmark?
That's not exactly where you are, but yes.
Never heard of it.
You could sail over there if you want.
Yeah, he's heard of it, and like day one, he heard of it, and he said it was a good fishing spot. So go over there. I'll direct the boat over there.
Roll a perception.
Okay.
It is interesting sailing a ship on a bay like Kaelan Bay, as it opens up wider and wider the farther out into the bay you get, until all you see is flat horizon. With a 22, you see exactly where you're going. It's a good ways away from the docks to get to where you want to go. And it is smooth sailing, as the ship is basically taking on wind. Tier is basically calling out, "You two lower the front sail. Let's get this back one angled to the right-hand side here. And that's starboard for the future."
Lorna complains the whole time.
Okay. Lorna, roll me a dexterity check.
Oh boy.
It's for an arrow at your head.
Fuck you. 11.
As I said, the DC was 8.
Woohoo!
So you succeed. You run over to the sail that he mentioned, and as you're pulling on the rope, you manage to angle yourself properly that the sail does not flip to the other side.
That would have been very funny, though.
As it drops, suddenly, you stay on your feet as the ship pushes forward as it catches wind with an acceleration you might not have been expecting.
I was a born sailor.
Not quite, but you're looking great so far. Okay, so as you sail out on Kaelan Bay, there is still a chance of things going awry. So I require a D100.
Go ahead, Klaus.
I was gonna say go for it.
Nah, you're the one who dooms us.
Oh, okay.
Most of this table is pretty calm. I don't think you're going to do much.
D100.
Yes.
100. Let's go.
84.
84. It is smooth, calm. The water is actually... How calm is it? Roll me a D10.
Okay, I'll do it. Now, alright.
Alright.
A 10!
10.
The water is smooth as glass. It's almost surreal as this ship just coasts along, cutting a gentle wake through the water. What do you remember about the quarter pile?
Trish told me that it was a good fishing spot, and that's it.
Okay.
I've yet to be out there.
Do you know what it is? Did she tell you what it was?
She didn't say. I just asked for a good fishing spot.
Sounds
she
like a
said
pile.
there's a landmark called the quarter pile. It's just off the docks. And that's it.
So, as you're approaching it, you see it's a very stout. It looks like just a log that's been shaved of all timbers sticking up out of the water. But you see that there is a slice taken out of it. Roll me everybody on the ship can roll me a history check as they approach the quarter pile.
This seems like a Halvard family token moment. Let's go. Hey, not bad.
Okay, 17. It's an old design, but you recognize it, Kaelan. This is the mast of a ship. It's a towering mast. You suspect this was the mast of a galleon or a man of war.
Oh, wow. Okay. Man of wars are no joke. He's seen plenty of those.
Yes. It is enormous.
Is there a whole ship down there?
Aye, it's a big one too. Galleon, man of war, one of the two.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. Trish told me about this spot. Said it was great for fishing. So.
Not great for the people who sank here.
Well, if there is a big ship down there, it would be good for fishing because they would roost and nest in a lot of the nooks and crannies.
Sure. Yeah, there's treasure down there.
We just have, well, maybe, but we do have to be careful not to get our hooks caught in some lumber or anything.
That's true. Might be good for like crabs and lobsters as well, since they like to attach themselves to such things.
We can
Are you
certainly
prepared
try.
to fish for those?
There's a certain way you can fish for them. You usually fish with fish that you catch.
Fish
to
with
catch
fish.
lobster.
There's a few cages down below deck we could use.
Sure.
Cages sound good.
Have you ever fished for the shellfish there, Lorna? Or Lilith? Have either of you?
No.
Lorna, have you ever been
Look.
fishing before at all?
Yeah. You were actually there.
No,
with me,
that
Pierre.
didn't count. That's not.
That did count. It's not
No.
cheating to use magic.
It will not. The magic is one thing. Electrocuting the pond is another.
I feel like getting fish is fishing.
Okay. Have you ever used a rod?
No.
Okay, thank you. We got some teaching to do today.
Ugh.
Well, you're all about learning. Is there a practical skill beneath you?
I guess. What's
So
in the
if you-
bag?
Oh, right. Let me draw anchor, and I'll show you. Tier makes his way over to the anchor. Based on the fact that there is a mast sticking up out of the water, you're pretty sure this is probably shallow enough water to drop anchor, Kaelan.
Yeah, definitely. But I won't even. I'll direct the boat like parallel to this sunken ship.
You have no
If I-
idea. You have no idea what direction the ship underneath you is pointing.
All
You're
right,
facing.
I'll keep about like 70, 80 feet away from it.
Okay, yeah, you keep some distance. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And as you do, Tier, you hear this as he's pulling the anchor across the deck.
I
As
thought
it
he had
weighs-
a baby bear down there.
Honestly, I thought he had an owlbear cub.
No. As he's dragging this anchor across the deck, it's this deep, bassy, pulling noise of the wood scraping on the iron. And
Okay.
Do you need
Tier-
any help?
no, I got it. It's
Oh, I
fine.
wasn't going to help you. I would have asked Lilith to do it.
Lilith is just watching, and you see that she is smoking a cigarette. That's what happens. Tier eventually gets the anchor over to the side of the ship, and the enormous winch that is connected to the anchor is freely spinning. Kaelan,
Kaelan.
please roll me a wisdom check. Just straight wisdom.
Oh, wisdom check. No proficiency. Let's go. Oh, 8.
I told you the DC would be 8. You suspect Tier has made a mistake, as that winch is freely spinning. When it reaches the end of that rope, there might be some damage caused to that winch.
Oh, shit. Okay. How do I stop a free spinning, ooh, God.
It has a
Grab
brake.
the handle.
It has a brake.
Okay, I will go for the break and try to break it.
Tier is looking over the edge to make sure the anchor is falling smoothly. He has no idea it's happening.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go over and try to grab it. Lilith, help!
Oh, and she stops. She the cigarette's hanging out of her lip as she runs over. She sees this thing spinning quickly, and she says, "With what?"
Well, I think, is there any kind of, metal rod nearby that's not a weapon? I don't want to use my own weapons here.
So there is a lever on the side of the winch that is the brake.
Just pull it.
Okay. Yes, so...
There is no
here.
just loose metal hanging around on the deck of the ship.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I'll just hit the brake then.
Roll me athletics.
With
Lilith is helping
help,
you,
right?
so you have advantage.
Yes. Sweet. This is why I took athletics as a skill. Oh, 15.
The brake is stiff. It's clearly not been used a lot. You have to break the rust free as you yank on it, but finally you hear this, and the brake comes loose. And finally you'd hear this strange sound of wood on wood as the brake begins to slow the winch. And finally, it's not spinning faster than you can see the spokes. And as that happens, Lilith reaches over and grabs the spoke to try and slow it down some more.
Okay. Perfect.
And suddenly, the anchor hits bottom.
Right.
And all of a sudden, all the rope just goes completely slack, and Lilith, whoa! And she will need to make a dex save. She rolled a 15. So, Killian. Why? Why Killian?
Celtic names.
I guess Lilith stays on her feet.
Now she's Gillian?
Yeah, I'm struggling here. Lilith stays on her feet as the anchor settles, and the brake, you feel it suddenly be able to give and push all the way in.
Okay.
Was that supposed to happen?
And I'll break it.
And Tyr looks
All the way
over
in.
and says, "What was supposed to happen?"
What happened?
You let their anchor just free fall. So it was going to...
Oh, shit. I thought the brake was in. I'm sorry. I swear I guess up was out and down was in. Had it backwards.
Has it been a minute, Tier?
It's literally been the entire time I've been at the Marigod Academy. It's
I
been
don't know how long that's been.
It's been 5 months.
All right. So technically I have the... All right. I'll help you out from here on out, Tier. No worries.
Just a little rusty. I'm not an idiot.
No, I didn't say that.
Right. In the bag, and Tier will walk over to it, and he pulls the burlap down, and you see that there are a number of baskets and several bottles. It is the makings of an enormous picnic. And he says, I don't know how long we're going to be out here, so I got enough food for us for a couple days. I don't think we're going to be stuck out here a couple days. But
hope not.
it never hurts to be prepared, so...
If we miss the fall festival, I will be a little upset. Just a little bit.
Look, if you've never heard of those stories of a storm taking fishermen out when they weren't expecting it, I just wanted to make sure we had food. That's all.
Sure. No, I think it's completely reasonable. I just didn't think there was such a potential likelihood that we could be carried out to sea.
That's,
Does anyone here follow near?
Fiona does.
Great, she's not here.
Yeah, she's not here. And Lois says, yeah, she does, though. It's true. He's right.
Yes, well, I think we all know who Sagona follows, but maybe we should ask Near for a safe evening? Afternoon?
You never struck me as the faithful kind.
I'm not, but, I...
Might as well shoot your shot, right?
Well, I've had some run-ins with some gods recently, and I've decided to maybe try to respect them a little bit more.
That's never a bad idea.
All right. It's been a while since I heard the name, but what's the name of the hero of Trident? The captain, ship captain. That
Astrid the Sea Eye.
Yes. How do you spell her name?
Astrid? A-S-T-R-I-D.
Never mind. I heard Astra.
No.
Okay.
Oh, is that a goddess?
No, it's a person.
No, it's a person.
Okay. Are you going to pray to this person?
No, but I mean, wouldn't hurt if we asked. Never mind. Let's just ask Near.
Probably a good idea. He's actually listening.
Right. Well,
You're the religious one. How do we pray?
it's real simple. If you are... Well, I guess it's not that simple. It depends on the context. If you're trying to ask for a blessing, you open yourself to them, the possibility that they might help you, and you ask in earnest. And you do so respectfully.
Okay. You don't give them something?
You don't have to make an offering. It helps.
How about like a toast? Because we have all this booze.
I imagine a god like Nia is a fan of alcohol, so
Oh, if Stakona follows him, he has to be.
that's true. She's
Kaelan's
truly
already-
devout in that way.
Kaelan's grabbing a bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
And
Share with everybody. Share with
And
the
Yeah.
class.
when you
So
grab
he's
the
gonna-
bottle, Tyr says, "Don't you touch the LeBrook cheese. That's mine.
Is that a drink or is that food?
It's cheese."
Okay. I don't know. Could have been a brand.
are there glasses here?
Yes.
Okay,
There is
so,
a large wooden crate full of various plateware and glasses and such.
So Kaelan will balance 4 glasses on one hand as he pours one, and then hands it out.
You
know,
do a lot
hands
of
each glass
entertaining
out.
there, Kaelan.
Looks like a hostess.
Well, no, but just drink.
I think
Hello.
it's the first time I've heard Kaelan snap.
It won't be the last. As Tyr takes one. Lilith takes a glass and she says, "Oh, this smells like good shit." All right.
Well, before we drink, here. To Near, to make sure that our fishing is bountiful, and we get back safely.
I would really like to not miss the fall festival. Thank you, Near.
Okay. Kaelan,
And,
because you're kind of leading the toast, you can roll me a wisdom check.
And +3. Let's go. I'll add my second charge of
Okay.
just in case.
Fair enough.
All right, not bad.
19.
Yeah, pretty good.
You are not proficient. You're not a cleric. But the words ring true, and you toast to Near, asking for his protection today
And-
out on the water.
Awesome. And before Kaelan actually drinks, he'll pour a sip out into the water.
Yeah, for Near.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fish drunk.
Okay, you do that. There is a breeze that comes from the far side of the ocean. It smells as though it's from nowhere near here. The gust, it smells of salt, it smells of smoke, and it smells of clean trees, if you know what that smells like. Which is out of place here, because up until now you're mostly just smelling salt water and fish.
Good smell. Okay. What direction? It's coming from the north?
It's coming from the west.
West. Alright, so out further into sea.
Yes.
Alright.
And so,
As,
go ahead.
as Kaelan takes a drink, he's gonna just kind of peer towards that smell. Kind of look on the horizon to see if anything's coming or not.
Roll perception.
There's a storm a-coming.
20.
The sky is clear. The water is smooth. You can just see on the edge of the horizon the little peaks of landmass deeper out into Kaiwas Bay. You don't see anything changing. You don't see anything moving.
Alright.
You make a note that it's a beautiful day.
Awesome.
And
All
as
right.
that smell has washed over the deck, Lilith kind of bumps you and says, "Seems like he heard you."
Aye. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
That doesn't mean you're going to win this competition, though.
Oh, right, here. We're on the same team for competition.
I do love me some healthy competition.
Who said
Boys
anything
versus
about healthy?
girls.
Ceresians versus Tridonians.
Ah.
Weird how that worked out. All right.
Who happen to be boys versus girls, yes.
Okay, what's the competition? If it's a drinking one, I've already won.
Are you...
Most cost.
How deep are you right now?
There are some questions you don't need to ask.
Okay.
Most caught fish. I think crabs and lobsters don't count since they're just baskets.
Aye,
And
that makes sense to
But-
me.
actual caught fish with a rod, or
No. There's no rules on how we get the fish.
right. So either rod, arrow, or electrocution, I guess.
Don't limit me. I should be able to use all of my magic.
We'll see how,
I see.
how it happens.
All right. So, hold on a minute. He, like, points at you, Lorna, and says, "Unless I'm mistaken, you're a wizard student.
Yeah.
And unless I'm mistaken, Lilith, you're a fighting student. And the two of you have signed up for a fishing competition with the two ranger students.
I know, it's going to be amazing when we kick your ass.
All right. So is it going
How-
to be the sheer amount of fish? Are we going for numbers, or are we going for weight?
Well, if you go for
Numbers.
numbers, you can gather up like a school of fish, and that'll be pretty lame because you can't eat that.
Right.
I think it needs to
we
be
should go-
weight.
Well, let's go for weight.
Fine.
It's fine. You got Lilith with you.
Lilith just kind of flexes and says, "Sure do.
I sure do.
You got some muscles on you, don't you?" And she, like, squeezes your arm.
Ow.
Oh, great.
hard.
All right. Okay.
You
Wow.
just see, like, fingerprints in her arm.
She may be a sick, but she's got magic. And he kind of like.
Are you mocking me?
Just a little. Just
There's-
poking fun.
All
There's
right.
a mage hand, and it's going to splash you with water from the side of the ship.
Dodge.
It's from behind you!
All right. What's the time frame here? How long have we got? And Tyr says, "Sundown?"
Sure. Because after sundown, that's when we start heavily drinking, right?
That's when we start eating and drinking. That's right.
Brilliant.
Gives us something to look forward to. And you notice that Tyr is already a little rosy in the cheeks.
It's the sun, right?
All right.
What is?
Alright.
Which one?
It's the sun's, right?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
She just pats him on the head.
What is that for?
You're very funny.
Thank you. I try my best. All right. So, and he, like, begins getting his own fishing kit out. And he says, "I guess competition begins, eh?" So, I think I know how Kaelan and Tiara are going to fish. Lorna, how do you plan on catching fish, if not with a pole?
She's gonna dump bait into the water, and then when she sees activity, she's going to electrocute the surface.
Okay, so the edge of the ship, the deck, it does get pretty low to the water in places. I mean, at first, when you first start doing this and you haven't had anything to drink, it's going to be easy. But perhaps after you've had some alcohol, there might be some saves to not tumble in.
This will be funny.
Okay.
She can hold a metal instrument and touch the surface of the water so she doesn't have to try so hard or lean so far over.
All
I
right.
want to make a point that Kaelan does not get drunk tonight because he's going to be driving the boat.
He's the designated driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You space out
noted.
your drinks very well.
So are you drinking, or are you just teetotal?
Yeah, just social drinking, keeping a buzz.
Okay, cool. So you're not getting hammered, is what you're saying.
No, no.
Got it. All right.
This is the booze cruise.
Lorna,
Yeah.
so you don't... So you're throwing bait in and you're paying attention to when you see movement, and then you are attempting to shock and grasp the movement?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a metal rod?
Probably.
Because you guys are like generating metal rods that you find on this boat, and there aren't any.
Hold on. Hold on. I have a small knife. No.
You don't have a metal rod.
Don't.
Okay. Do you have another solution?
Is there like a fishing net they use to like scoop them up?
You said you bought a net, so...
We bought a net.
Not like a net. I meant like a, or is that what you meant?
I don't understand this question.
Is it just like a free material net, or is it like a handle, a hoop, and then a net attached to it?
It's usually a fishing net is a handle hoop with a net.
Is it made of metal?
It would not be. It would be made of wood.
Okay, then never mind. I have to lean over for this.
Yeah.
I'll
okay.
have Lilith hold my legs if I need it.
Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen for you, Lorna, is you're going to need to roll me a perception to throw your bait into the water where there are actually fish.
Okay. Aw. 3. No, 8. Well, 3. I rolled a 3. 8 total.
So for the first 10 minutes, you're like walking around the sides of the deck of the ship, looking for any hint of movement, any twinkle of light, and you just don't see any fish. While that's happening, Kaelan, if you're doing anything I don't expect, please describe. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're...
I think for the first part of the competition, he will just regularly fish with a rod and bait, and yeah. But
roll survival.
He is gonna try to arrow a fish towards the end.
Okay.
All right.
A 13 survival check. Roll me a D100. With a 15, you catch the first ship of the night. You catch the first fish of the night. You don't catch a ship.
We catch the whole man of war.
You don't pull anything up. You're just hooked and stuck there. No. You catch a guppy.
Oh, good job.
It all counts in the end. And he puts it in the bucket.
It's like a tiny little, yeah. It's a little orange guppy that seems unhappy that it has been captured. You toss it in the fishing bucket.
There are 2.
I'm actually gonna like knock it out and then hook it on to the next catch.
Aww.
Use the fish for a bigger fish.
Poor buddy.
Okay. Then roll a survival at advantage.
Ooh.
Fucking Rangers.
Oh, much better. 20.
Roll me a D100.
A 1.
A 1.
A 1.
Okay. Your fishing pole is pulled extremely hard. And it snaps almost immediately.
Your pole does?
Yes.
Good.
Oh.
You caught something massive, and it broke the rod right out of your hand.
Oh, shit. Did it, like, completely... I lost it, all, like, completely?
You have the handle of the rod, and nothing else.
Is the fishing line just gone? Is it in the water?
Yeah, it's gone.
Alright. Hey, Tier.
Aye.
And he just holds up the fishing rod. I got something way too big.
Holy okay. Well, I've got a couple spares. What the 9 hells did you catch?
I used the little guppy that I just caught and caught something really big.
Okay. Let's not worry about that for the moment. And he will hand you another pole.
All right.
How many poles do we have? I'm curious.
So Tier brought basically a bundle of cheap poles. They're not great, but they'll do the job. The poles that you guys got were basically average fare. In total, you have 8 poles now.
Oh, okay.
You had 9, but that one just broke.
While Lorna is looking for fish activity, she will actually take Requiem off her waist and look at him and say, "Can you turn into something that breathes underwater?"
I don't breathe.
Perfect. Could you just go in there then?
Very well. What am I looking for?
You're catching fish.
I... What?
You just need to go down, grab the fish, and come back up and give it to me.
I see.
Big fish, preferably.
Roll me a perception check for Requiem.
Hold on, I have to pull up this character sheet.
You sure do. I did not anticipate the using of
I'm
a
using all
ghost
of my
dog.
shit. Ghost dog. Show. Proficient.
This table
Perception.
of things that you can catch. I've got 2 tables here.
Oh, damn it! It was almost a natural 20.
Okay. It takes a while. Requiem, like, sinks through the deck of the ship and is gone, and then, like, as you're still doing laps, roll me a perception check. Everybody can roll this one. So I'll roll for...
I rolled the same as him.
Okay. That's not great. Loeth rolled a natural 20.
Damn.
Loeth says... Did you all just hear a... That's not Loeth's voice. Did you all just hear a bump? And then Requiem emerges, and there is a bit of fish meat between his teeth.
Oh, buddy.
And he says, "Fish cannot pass through the boat."
No, they sure can't. But
I'm
now
sorry,
we know.
Lorna.
No, now we know, and it's fine.
And he opens his mouth, and this tiny bite of fish just on the
He
deck.
left the rest of the fish.
Oh, what a good fishing trip. Oh, man.
Okay. So I'm rolling on the side for the things that Tier might catch.
By the way, if she ever notices Tier has a good reel coming in, she's gonna, for the first time, cast Lorna's instant embrittlement on the metal portion
Of whose?
of, of Tier's.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Don't have counterspell. If she ever
Uh,
sees him like he's like finally reeling in something good, she's gonna break it.
All right.
The second level spell for this.
Is that really worth it to you? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it is, apparently. It's always worth it to pen. Just pen.
I'm not evil.
You're just petty. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He starts pulling on something heavy. So you cast instant embrittlement. He needs to roll a dex save at disadvantage because he doesn't see you do this.
And the best part is one of the material component for this is a phial of salt water, and there's a literal shit ton of it around.
He rolled a 10. So the reel on his fishing rod, immediately it just looks rusted, and like pieces of it are flaking away as he's pulling on it. And you hear Tyr say, "What the night? What the fuck?" as he's trying to pull whatever this is out of the water. I need to roll a con save for the reel. Believe it or not, a fishing reel has 1 hit point. because it's a fishing reel. So its con save is basically, it's at a -4. It rolled a 14. What's your spell DC?
15.
Okay. The handle of the reel. And Tyr looks at it in his hand, and immediately the reel and the line is just gone. And Tyr says, "What the fuck just happened to me?"
Those are some really shitty poles you got there.
Did I see it, like, is it a somatic component?
Nobody knows the spell.
Damn it.
Well,
just made it.
You can roll me a perception to see if you catch Lorna doing something shifty.
Nefarious.
But nope. Tyr just had a shitty reel, I guess.
God,
man, what's going on?
Holy shit. Alright.
Lilith, who's near you, just kind of nudges you with her elbow.
Yes.
What was that?
I'm just, if I'm not in class, I'm practicing.
Okay. And she just... You see that she's standing up on the deck and she has a bow in hand, and she's back to, like, looking in the water.
Lorna's like, if she's so busy sabotaging the other two, she's hoping Lilith actually gets something.
Okay. Kaelan, we're back to you. Go ahead.
All right.
Go, because Lorna rolled a terrible perception check. Kaelan, go ahead and roll me another survival.
Alright, 17.
17. Yeah, you catch a fish. Roll me a
All right.
D100. Let's see what you caught.
Does it seem like a big fish?
We don't know yet.
3. What's going on?
It's just the from nothings that I just I should have played a cleric or something. Like, seriously.
Yeah, no kidding. As you pull up, the reel doesn't look like it's a huge catch. Feels like something, though. And as you pull it up, you have caught a net that has been chewed through.
All right.
It's logged with seaweed. It looks like it's been down there for a long time.
At this rate, we're not having dinner.
We brought food, didn't we?
Oh, he certainly did.
They-
And Tyr will cast. Huh?
I was hoping to actually eat what we catch, but this is not going well.
Hey, yeah, we just started, and I brought a brazier just in case. There's no sense in just getting disheartened just because we've had a bad start.
I'm not.
I'm having
but I
a
just
great
find it
time.
funny.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
What?
And he, like, picks up a new rod. And will cast. As he does, he's going to roll a survival. He rolls pretty well. He rolls a D100. He rolled a 50. Okay. This table is bizarre. Alright. You see that Tyr is struggling to pull something up. Something that's heavy.
I'll rush over to help him.
Okay. Lorna, do you cast instant embrittlement again?
I only have 2 second-level spell slots.
Okay. As you help him, I need you to roll athletics.
Okay.
He's rolling it as well.
9.
Yeesh.
A 9. Okay. That is not enough to actually provide aid. Let me see how well he rolls. He rolled a 16. So the two of you do manage to haul up. It's an arduous process. As more and more of the reel gets pulled in, you see that you have pulled a small humanoid out of the water. They are wearing what looks like it's like a leather suit that's covered in black tar with metal pieces all over it. It's maybe the size, maybe 3 foot tall, 3.5 foot tall. As it's pulled up, and it is trying to reach up at the fishing line that's caught on the piece of this metal. And when it's out of the water, it pulls the helmet off, and a gnome is hanging from the fishing line, and you hear him say, "Let me off! Let me off, damn it!
What?
Put me down!
What are you doing in the water?
I was exploring! Let me back down!"
What the
That
fuck?
doesn't count as a successful catch. It's not a fish.
How much do you weigh?
30 pounds, and then the suit's maybe 100.
That doesn't count.
130 pounds.
That doesn't count. Lilith, do you think that counts?
No,
Alright,
we
let
can't eat that. Let him down. Let me off! And he's like trying to, he can't quite reach the fishing line, and Tier says, all right, settle your buns, I'll lower you down, just put the helmet back on. And the gnome just is like struggling, he says, thank you, you mongrels, as he's just slowly lowered back down to the water. He puts the helmet back on, and finally when he reaches the water and some of the slack catches, the hook comes off of the piece of his diving suit, and the gnome back into the water.
Okay, so people explore the wreck here. Good to know.
Alright. Well,
I didn't expect that.
neither did I, but, alright, we won't count it.
Yeah, you better not.
You having any luck over there, Lorna?
Can I dump a whole bunch of bait into the top?
Okay, yeah.
All the bait.
So you've basically given up trying to find a spot where you see fish, and
Yeah.
you are just dumping bait.
I'm just trying to entice them.
Okay, roll a survival.
Aw. Oh, okay. 22.
Okay, you don't just drop the bait in like a numpty. You gently let it fall into the water from the side of the ship, not
Gonna use
immediately.
mage hand to like splish around a little bit to give the illusion of movement.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a D100.
16. Come on. What is this Delos number?
You rolled.
Big call of Lulu.
What is that? Hold on. I need to look up what this table is telling me. Oh! Roll me a nature check.
Okay. 15.
You have enticed a school of quippers.
Whippers.
Oh.
What's that?
A quipper, and you know what they are as they're silver on the top, red on the bottom, and they have very sharp teeth. They are
Piranhas.
They are akin to piranhas, but
Oh.
in D&D. They are surging up and just... There's maybe hundreds of them
Okay,
as
I'm
they
gonna
are
use
eating the bait.
my ceramic hand to cast a shocking grasp on the surface of the water, so if one of them bites me, it's not gonna take a fucking
Roll me
finger.
a spell attack.
Okay. 16?
16. Okay. Roll me damage.
6. On a D8. That's pretty good.
Okay. Each of these fish is tiny, but with 6 lightning damage, you reach down into the water and you see just this surge of lightning pass through. And while many of the quippers are unharmed, there is many of them that suddenly are just like
Scoop 'em
floating
up
on the surface
with
of
the
the
net.
water. This is going to require a dexterity save.
Lilith, help!
She sees what you're doing and she runs over and she will help you not fall into the water. But the concern here is as you're scooping, quippers might leap out of the water to bite you.
Okay. So is it just a flat deck save?
Yes.
Okay. Natural 20. With a plus 0.
No problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
As the quippers are darting, there is maybe 12 quippers that are dead and floating on the surface of the water that you net up. And you get all of them, but you also get 3 live quippers that are squirming inside the net as maybe 10 or 12 quippers are flying up out of the water trying to chomp you as you do that.
You fucking beast.
In total, you get 15 quippers. 3 of them are still alive, but that will not be for long as you're holding up this net of fish that are writhing about.
I would just give it another shock.
Okay. Roll another spell attack.
They're in a net.
Yeah, you might break the net.
16.
Okay, you don't hit the net. Roll me damage.
I would have laughed if you
7.
hit the net and they all just jumped it back in the water.
That's exactly what would have happened. 7 damage. You kill the remaining 3 live quippers in your net, and you have acquired 15 quippers. Roll me a d4.
1.
2. The quippers average about 2 pounds each.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so you have 30 pounds of fish that you've just caught.
She looks over at Tier and Kaelan and just gives them 2 middle fingers.
Tier kind of tilts his head and says, "They're not the best eating, but they're certainly better than a gnome on a string, so bully to you for now." I need
How's
to roll.
Requiem doing?
He's still under there.
Is he catching anything?
So far, no.
Is he doggy paddling?
He just kind of... It's like he's no-clipping, basically. He just kind of floats. Yeah.
Just imagining a dog in space, just like...
That's exactly what it looks like, but in the water. Lilith looses an arrow and has caught something.
Go,
I'm
Lilith.
rolling. A 19. What the fuck is that?
Call rolling.
Oh, boy. It's not heavy, and as she pulls the line up, her arrow emerges, and on it is a round, yellowish-looking egg.
Oh, what is that?
Roll me nature.
Oh boy. I thought you were going to say it's the gnome.
No.
I'm going to look over and...
Yeah.
12.
Natural 20.
With a natural 20, you immediately recognize that is a Sahuagin egg.
Oh.
Oh,
Lilith's like frowning as she looks at it and says, "It smells not very good."
You might want to
Is that
stab it.
Tier's
It is a Swahagan egg. One of those fish creatures that...
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Just,
And she just...
stab it.
She, like... You're telling her what to do as she, like, tips the arrow on the side of the boat and scrapes it off to fall into the water.
Ew.
I didn't want it.
That's fair.
She, like, is looking at the arrow that's now all slimy, and she takes a rag and says, "All right, well, I'm not having much luck yet, but we're not finished."
Mm-mm.
Okay. So now for this next part, Tier and Kaelan, you're both going to roll survivals. Pen, you're going to roll... It's got to be a perception. You have to roll a perception here. As you have attracted a shitload of quippers to the side of the boat.
Again, terrible. Just awful. 8.
Okay. You can try to catch more quippers, or you can try and find something better.
It's worked so far.
All
Just
right.
gonna keep catching quippers.
Okay. Kaelan with a 24.
Jesus.
Okay, roll me a D100.
High number. Let's go. Is that 96?
Yeah,
96 is a high number.
that's pretty high. It's higher than Lorna gets.
More drugs? Just...
They're in my pocket. Just say when.
96. Roll me a D20.
Okay. 6.
You're pulling up something very heavy.
Hey, Tier, help.
All right, 1 minute. And he's pulling up his own something. He eventually does come over and help you. Roll me athletics with advantage.
Natural 20.
Okay, with a natural 20, you're pulling up something huge.
Oh boy. It's the thing that took your line before.
It's not that big. It didn't immediately snap the rod, but it is something enormous. And as you're pulling and pulling and pulling, you've caught a reef shark.
Oh shit.
Oh.
It
All right.
When you pull it up onto the deck, it flops with a and you feel it in the decks, and it's just like writhing and wriggling, and Tyr runs over to the side of it and pulls his dagger and just stabs
God.
All right. He's got it?
He's got it.
All right. Because Kaelan was pulling out his dagger as well.
This is a hell of a catch. The reef shark by itself weighs 90 pounds.
The disappointment on Fed's face. All right. Shark is actually really good.
Yeah, it is. Oh, this was a hell of a catch.
What'd you get over there?
Don't worry
Saw
about
your
it.
phones.
What was it?
You see his rod is like cast to the side, and on the end of it is a pair of old boots.
All right. Well, good. Let's put it on our side. 90 pounds.
90 pounds of shark.
I just need 2 more scoops of quippers, whatever.
I really don't want to eat quippers. They're so gamey.
It's not about eating, it's about weight.
But we're going to eat it.
You can eat the shark.
All right,
I
that's
just want
fair.
to eat you.
You're so petty, gods.
That's your point. She goes back to electrocuting fish.
All right, so you need to throw more bait. Roll me on the survival. As those quippers ate every last bit of bait you cast out.
God
into the
damn
water.
it! Terrible.
So in the frustration of seeing them catch a shark, you like just you like throw the bait out into the water, and
She does the same thing with the mage hand and starts spreading it out.
Unfortunately, the weight, like the splash of the bait being thrown into the water, you almost see fish just scatter away.
Fuck.
Lilith has caught something.
As I'm re-baiting my line, I'm going to walk over to Lilith and just kind of see what she gets. And if she needs help, I will help her.
Don't you sabotage her.
She rolled
This
a
is the good, fair
51.
game, Kaelan.
He couldn't if he wanted to. And he... Okay, hold on. I need to roll another thing. This table is very interesting.
Hello, Eve.
She says hello.
Mao,
That's what she says.
usually. Okay, she pulls on the line, and you can see that she could use some help. So roll athletics.
Yeah, I'll help her. Hey, 21.
I am surprised that this is what came up. It is a creature that you, like, as you're pulling it up out of the water, the reason why she was able to see it is you catch just a glimpse of reflected light off this fish, and it is prismatic, the lights that are shining off of this fish. It's almost, you see sparkles of blue and red and green shining up off of this fish as it's pulled up. And as the wide barbed head arrow is the only reason this fish hasn't gotten away, you see the arrow is clean through the center of the fish, and as it's pulled up out of the water, roll me a nature check.
Okay.
I do it too.
Yeah.
I'm sure I won't figure it out, but... Terrible. 9. And it's a fish.
You've heard stories with a 16. You've heard stories of these fish. They're not common at all. It's a jewel fish.
Oh, this is a good one. You caught a jewelfish.
Do me a favor, Kaelan, as you're helping her. Roll me 4 D100s.
Oh shit.
Oh, I'll do one at a time.
Okay,
7.
we're gonna add them all up. So.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. Well, shit. Okay, I'll just.
Get a calculator.
I thought it was some sort of table you were reading from, like qualities. 57 plus 91 plus 24 plus 62. 234.
So this jewelfish has gems growing off of its body worth 254?
34.
234 gold. Various emeralds and sapphires and rubies seem to grow out of its scales like barnacles as she pulls it up and is holding it up on the arrow. It weighs maybe 15 pounds, but that's not really the value of this fish.
I think Lilith wins.
I think so too. And she's like holding it up. Holy shit. And it's like struggling, but it's clearly, it's nearly dead as it's got an arrow all the way through it.
All right. You want me to dress that for you? I can get out the gems and...
Yeah.
All right.
And she hands you the arrow with the fish on it.
I will take my dagger that's special for fishing and kind of just shove it through the mouth up into the brain to stop it from wiggling.
You kill the fish.
And then I will carefully try to extract the gems from its body.
It is simple enough. They are hard. They're gems. The fish is soft and squishy, and the gems are not. And it is not hard to extract them. There's no risk of damaging them. Some of them seem to grow straight out of the bones of the fish, but even then, the gems are too hard to really be at risk of harming them. And you acquire 234 gold worth of assorted gems.
Right. I'll put them into a special pouch and then hand them over to Lilith.
And the claps.
Lilith is like smiling wide the whole time you're doing this, and she says, "That was fucking awesome." What's the odds? What are the odds of finding one of those?
I have no idea.
They're pretty rare, so that's really lucky that we found one.
Roll an Arcana, Lorna.
Okay. Really good. 22.
With a 22, you surmise that the gems growing out of this fish's body, it's likely that there is treasure at the bottom of this water.
I knew there was treasure. We should come back here, but like prepared to go under, and hopefully that gnome doesn't find it.
Roll me another D100, please.
Me?
Yeah, this is for Requiem.
Oh, yay. 11.
11. Roll again. That doesn't work.
70. There we go.
Oh. Okay. With a 70. All right. Requiem suddenly emerges over the side of the deck, remembering not to try to pass through the boat. You see there is a fish that is very peculiar in his mouth. It's basically as long as Requiem is long, and it is see-through. You can kind of see its inner organs. It's a glass fish.
Okay.
And he will spit it out on the deck, and you'll hear, "I found one."
Good boy. Look at you. She's gonna scruffle his face.
So he doesn't breathe, but he does. His mouth kind of opens as if he's panting, clearly
Perfect.
pleased.
I'm gonna give you
Uh,
so much gravy when we get back.
I hope you mean it.
Of course I do.
Cloth goes, gravy?
Yeah, he likes gravy.
Oh, that's fair. I like gravy too. I just
Yeah, who
didn't.
doesn't?
Gravy's pretty good.
All right. And at this point, it's getting later. It's nearing sundown. And so I'm going to give everybody one last roll to try and catch.
One last hurrah.
Tierra will roll survival.
I'm gonna use my last charge. For
Okay.
this.
Oh, Tierra caught something.
Oh, good thing I got that. Okay.
You caught something. Roll me a D100. Tierra caught a mundane fish. Can you believe it? He caught a bass.
Because he's been pre-gaming too hard. It's
Yeah.
one of the game.
No, it's just sometimes that he rolled on the normal ass table. He caught a largemouth bass. With a 34 and a 14, Kaelan, you also caught something on the normal ass table. You catch an eel.
Oh.
Shocky.
Not an electric eel, just an eel.
Oh.
They're not all electric. It's as unsettling as always when you pull it out of the water. The largemouth bass that Tier caught weighed about 11 pounds, and the eel that you caught weighs just shy of 17 pounds. So make a note of those.
28.
Yeah. Pen, roll me a... You're still using your shocking attempts to catch fish. Give me another survival. If you have any other tricks you want to try to use.
No, these are my tricks.
Okay, with a 20. All right. Roll me a D100.
Really? 11.
11. Okay. Interesting. The bait that you cast out is all swallowed up by one large fish, and I'm going to give you a spell attack to catch it.
Okay. 18.
That hits. Roll damage.
7.
You have caught a viper fish.
Okay.
It's a long, green, almost centipede-like fish, but instead of legs, it has fins, and it is like the stuff out of nightmares. But you catch it, and it weighs about 20 pounds.
Okay.
Lilith sees you pulling that up, and she goes, "What the fuck is that?"
I don't know, but it's gross.
Ugh.
It's the weight that matters.
I guess. And Laura, okay, so I need to roll perception for Lilith as I've been doing. Okay, roll her bow attack. Lilith has caught something. Man, everybody's catching. Hold on.
Holding.
Okay, as she pulls the arrow up out of the water, you see that she frowns, as on the end of the arrow is a jellyfish.
Oh.
Oh.
And she's... I don't think this counts.
It's still a fish, right?
Not... We can't eat it.
Well, we shouldn't, at the very least.
Yeah, and she will scrape the arrow off on the side of the
She
boat.
scrapes a lot
till
of jelly-like
once again-
things out.
Yeah, Lilith caught a couple horrible things. And the
Does Requiem
jellyfish
catch
just kind of a... Requiem's rolls count as your rolls, so it is sundown by the time that you have caught the viper fish. So, what are the final weight tallies?
Yours is over 100.
118, yeah.
Mine was 30 plus that 20-pound fish I just caught, and whatever the weight of the glass fish was, and the jewel fish.
So 30, 15, 45, 20 is 65, and then whatever the viperfish is. 65 plus whatever that
the
is.
viperfish was, let me look again. 37. I think. I think I'm looking at the right one.
Plus 37?
Yeah.
Close. It's so close. 102.
Damn it.
All right, so the Rangers do win,
But just barely.
but it is much closer than it probably had any right to be. Okay, as you have... Whoa, that's extremely loud. One moment, please, while I fix that. Okay. As you four finish harvesting your catch, and Tier lights the brazier, he looks at the fish that we've acquired, and he says, "Alright, so the reef shark is definitely on the menu.
Aye.
I've never had jewelfish, so I'm going to cook that up as well.
Alright.
We can probably sell the quippers, because I don't want to eat them.
Fair enough.
And I mean, we can make jerky out of this bass. That'll be nice and tasty. We'll smoke it, at least. Any
Fried
thoughts?
eel is actually pretty good.
I've never had it, but I'll try it. You got any advice on how to cook this?
The player doesn't know how to cook
That's
it,
fine.
but
You can
I'm sure,
you can say Kaelan knows.
Kaelan knows, yes.
Okay. So why don't you roll a survival to aid Tier in cooking up fish?
Sure, yeah. Advantage? That we're both doing it?
Yeah, you have advantage.
Oh, 15. So it's not the best.
I mean, you're cooking on a brazier on a ship out in the bay. It's not bad. And there's plenty of wine to add to the fish as it's cooking. And while that's happening, it's pretty comfortable. Lorna, Lilith kind of approaches you and she says, "This was a good idea."
I think so too.
Not just the sailing part, but telling them.
It's nice to share the weight sometimes.
Do you think Tier will help with my problem?
Yeah, I do, because he really fucking hates the master.
So, okay. All right. Will you help me pitch it?
Yeah.
Hey, Tier! And Tier is, like, over by the brazier with Kaelan, and he looks over and says, "Yeah? So, Lorna tells me you really don't like the master." And Tier, yeah, why do you know about, okay,
Because she's involved too.
oh,
In the same way that I am.
you're running from a terrible,
Well, okay, it's not the exact, it's not a one-to-one equivalent. It's more like she has her own reasons to be indebted to the master, but
Okay.
she is. And
I
that's
see,
why she was sent to the Marigard.
same as you.
Yes.
All right. And Lilith nods and she says, "So I already talked to Kaelan about this, and Lorna said she'd help too, but I need to punish a noble coming into Ferrum in the next week. His name's Pernian Napier. Does that name mean anything to you?" And I'm going to roll a history for Tier, which is not his strong suit.
I'll aid this in just telling the basics of what Kaelan knows.
It doesn't take long before Tier, you see some gears click into place, and he says, "Yeah, the Napier family. I'm familiar. They own some shipyards out off Kindinos. It's a pretty big deal."
Do you know who that heir is?
No?
Well, I just wanted to know how high up this Pernian is.
I don't think they're royalty. I don't think they're admiralty, at least.
They're not.
Well, that's
You
your
need
relief.
Lilith, do you need more information about him? Would that help?
Lilith shrugs and says, I know what he looks like. She showed me what he looks like in the dream. And Tyr blinks and says, what, dream?
Yeah, she does that. She can walk into your dreams if she wants to.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
So, she can do what the sorcerer instructor does?
I don't know. I don't know the sorcerer instructor. Not well.
The sorcerer instructor can walk into your dreams?
She can create a dream for you.
Oh.
That's part of my additional training.
She's not a sorcerer, if that's what you're wondering. They might have similar abilities, but...
Alright. So what do you need? What do you need? I'm happy to help you.
We don't
Especially-
know how well protected this person's going to be. Lilith is going to have to make a judgment call on whether he lives or dies.
Oh. And you see Tyr is quiet as he's looking down at the fish on the brazier. Turning it, and the sound of the sizzling just kind of fills the air for a long moment. And Lilith says, I understand if you don't want to get involved. I know you got your hands full with Lorna's shit. And
Well... yeah, he does.
Tyr says, no. I mean... I know that I signed up for it with Lorna. I was kind of there when I heard a lot of things that I doubt she wanted anybody else to hear. But your friends, I'm not going to let, a friend of mine get fucked over by this terrible person. The master's on my shit list. I will put a dagger through her heart at some point. And Lilith seems surprised at that reaction.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I don't know when he's coming in. I just know it's the next week. And I was hoping that you or Kaelan would, you're familiar with the docks and the sailors and such. You might have luck finding out, or at least getting information easier than I could. And Tyr looks
Not a
at
bad
you,
idea.
Kaelan.
I'll help out. You said a week?
Ish.
Within the week.
Within the week?
Probably not tomorrow because of the fall festival.
Yeah, there's no ships coming in tomorrow.
Oh, the timeline is a little short. I don't know if I can get a message out and information quickly, or that quick, but I do have a family friend that could possibly get us more information about this Napier.
Man, that would help.
Alright.
Especially if we, what if he's a powerful mage? Or a paladin of some order? I just know a name, and I know what he looks like.
This, the last time I sent a message out, it took about a few days to get a word back, but
Can you
that was
expedite it?
through. If we can get information instantly, I don't know if that's possible, but the last time I sent a message, it was through the mail service here. However, this person that I know of did give me this in my pocket, and he'll show the token again. So I'm wondering if he can actually send maybe a piece of paper with the information on it too, in just the way.
It's worth a try. And I'd I'd owe you one.
There's the problem with that. I would need to ask him right away, so he can send it right away. But I don't know. Lorna, is there some sort of magic that can do that? To get a quick message to someone?
Yes, but I can't do it. You could ask Tabernac.
You think he would help?
He would help? Absolutely.
Alright.
He doesn't like the master either.
Fair enough. Alright, I'll reach out to my uncle then.
As for, doing it, the roughing up portion of it, Lilith is letting me help because I can look like somebody else. I don't believe that's in your capability, but I've been wrong before.
I don't want this to get tied to anybody but me if shit hits the fan.
If they are a noble family of Trident, I'm guessing that this thing here, and I'll just kind of like palm the token, would probably get you pretty close to it.
So you'd want to use it as leverage? I don't want to blow your cover.
It's a nice offer, Kaelan, but Lilith and I have actually gotten somebody from the docks for the master before. And do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
We might be able to do it again, depending.
If you use this, it would make it a lot easier, but like you said, that would...
I mean, that's as good as you being right there with us and showing your face and saying, this is who I am.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want anybody finding out that you're here. And if they get away, or if they can get a message out and we can't do anything about it, you might be screwed.
I think you two, and she looks at both Kaelan and Tiara, just getting information about this family, so we know what to expect when we're dealing with them.
Tiara nods and says, I can ask around. I've got some friends around here.
You also might want to ask Maxwell what he knows. I talked to Tam recently, and he says that Maxwell is the spy master.
Yes, he sure is.
Why do you know that?
I spoke with Tamia the other day, and we were talking about this whole conflict between Ko and Aurelia.
What are you talking about?
There's fighting on the border. Apparently wounded soldiers have been going through the Physicry in Ferrum.
Do you think that might be why we have to deal with this individual from Trident? Tiara asks from over by the brazier.
I mean, if he's from Trident, I don't see what he has to do with the KO and Aurelia conflict.
He's from Trident, but from what I remember, he's a pretty big wig as far as engineering projects go, and they might have something going on in KO. The Napiers are working on. Maybe.
Ultimately, I don't... What she wants to punish him for is really the last thing on the list of things we need to know.
That's fair. Lilith kind of looks at all of you and she says, I really appreciate the help, one way or another. With 4 people working on this, it feels way less like a death sentence. So
I wouldn't be here without help, so...
Thanks.
Yeah.
Lilith turns to you, Lorna, and she says, "You're all right. Don't let that go to your head.
I almost said something, but I didn't. So.
You're learning."
Hmm.
And then she turns and she kisses you, Kaelan.
I thought you were gonna say me. Damn it.
He'll just like jolt from surprise, but he will eventually, after a few moments, kiss her back.
Lorna looks at Tier.
Well, come here.
Oh, is this what we're doing? Is this like a no? Okay.
As you kind of have handled this heavy situation and came to a conclusion that might be a good resolution, at least for Lilith, she appreciates your help. You spend as much time as you like out on the water.
It hurt.
As you stand out here, as I rolled earlier, it is quick to become dark as the suns have set, and the water is still glass smooth. I'd like all of you to roll me a perception check.
Okay. Finally, a good roll. 17.
Nope.
You're a little occupied, huh?
He's a little distracted, thinking about stuff.
Stuff, huh?
I need a D20 from somebody, please.
I rolled the last one for this,
Okay,
so
I'll do it.
go.
17. 2 17s.
Oh. Okay. That's interesting. Anyone who rolled above a 15 on perception.
Woo!
So, Lilith actually, like, during the kiss, she catches it out of the corner of her eye. You see over the port side of the ship, the smooth glass water out toward the rest of the bay, you see movement. Shining lights of brilliant colors shining up from deep in the water below. You see a sunrise in the water down below, as if ethereal. You see the visage of a mountain with massive, beautiful, radiant beings flying across the sky, depicted below you in the water. Several mountains just glittering green like gems as trees line beautiful flowing waterfalls and rivers that run up and down these mountains. Roll me an Arcana, both of you.
Is this a window? Natural 20.
You
Or
are
27.
okay, Lorna. You know what this is.
Oh man, 11.
Kaelan, you recognize from your reading what it sounds remarkably like what you read literally yesterday about Mount Celestia. But you don't know how you're seeing it in the water below you. Lorna, you recognize a magical phenomenon that the Crystal Ocean is famous for. When the water is glass smooth, placid, and unstirring, you can glimpse into other planes. And this is the mechanic that window ships take advantage of. You are looking into a window.
Cool.
I feel like if we could go in there right now, we'd be in Mount Celestia.
Aye.
Not that we should, but that's really cool.
Lilith is like looking down at it and she says, "It's beautiful."
Yeah, quite a backdrop for this kind of moment. She kind of looks at them.
Yeah.
Kaelan look at Tier and just kind of just smile and nod.
I've never seen anything like this. I've seen a window before, but it didn't look like this.
Where was it to?
I don't know, it just looked like lots of rock and gems.
Probably the Earth plane.
Probably.
I
This is much prettier.
I'm a big fan.
This is exactly why I've chosen to take the path of a Horizon Walker.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are we spending the night out here?
No.
What
God,
time
no.
is the
All right,
fall
then.
festival?
We better sail back in. It always starts at noon, so
So Lilith will actually be up in time.
she gives you the finger. As you begin to sail the ship back in to dock, that is where we will end the session for this double date.
Cool.
All right,
Is
so
our player RP vote?
I'm afraid not. No.
I'm gonna
Um,
give mine to Lilith.
Fuck you.
She bows figuratively. So, I hope you guys had fun with this duo session.
I'm so mad I lost.
It happens. You didn't
After
actually.
cheating and everything.
You did your best. You caught a lot of fish for
Yeah.
using magic. The roll for that reef shark is really kind of what swung it.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm glad you had a good time. And to all of our viewers, we love you. And I can't wait to see you next week.
That's the fall festival!
Fall festival time. All right.